Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Chorizy E.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he wrote a blog about that, you drink. If My Sock Summer looks at his phone or has no idea what's going on, you drink. If I swear or say, here's the thing, you drink. Also, of course, you can make any of us shut the fuck up for 5 minutes for $5. Black Friday deal. One-time use.
One time. Only one person can do it.
$20 for 5 minutes of MSS by himself.
Wow, that's a deal tonight, baby.
And
$20. Just $20.
You could always tip us as much as you want just because you love us and you love all the free content. Or you can make us drink for $1.08. I mean, look at these deals right now. We're just spitting out deals. And we're spitting out drinks. Beef, what are you drinking, my friend?
I feel like I'm pulling up the My Sock Summer wing of the drinking tonight. I have a variety of things going on here.
Oh, nice.
I have a final glass of plum wine, Japanese plum wine, that my wife and I were drinking the other night. We had a little bit left over. I had a glass in the hot tub, and now I'm having a little bit right here. But then I got backed up with the tequila. We're just going to go tequila neat. But one bottle's drained, so I got a backup bottle here of an ultra añejo. So yeah, I'm spraying all fields. Kind of rarity for me. So
cheers, you Irish bastard.
That's a lot of different stuff. Beef. I like it. My Sock Summer, how much stuff you got going on?
I only got two things right now. I'm finishing up the fancy Whiskey Acres bottle. The guys that make good whiskey out there in DeKalb. If you go and have an event there, ask my girl Trish and then tell her the 108 sent you. She will have no idea what you're talking about. I have a $15 bottle of very old Barton. Is a bottom shelf bourbon. That's my new gig, guys. That's my new gig. Also got the Kentucky bourbon from Trader Joe's. I am going to tell you this right now.
Cheers, Zach.
Thank you, Zach. Love you, baby.
Zach. I get yelled at on the internet, and I might bring them up later too. But like people that are questioning my bourbon choices, you go fuck yourself. Okay, I like bottom shelf stuff. Sure, easy. What are you drinking?
You know, I just got to say that your whole very old Barton thing, it just like every time you say it, I don't know why it reminds me. It reminds me of the beginning of Half Baked when they're like, and then it was Old James. Wait a second. You don't know what he named Old James?
Hang on. Before we get to what you're drinking, Treasy, can we pull this back up here?
You can.
Julie Fonseca says, not really that big of a Twitter person, but been banned permanently. So I know there's a bunch of you in the comments, Billy Wires being one of them, who's been banned on the 17th account. Give a little support to Julie Fonseca. Make sure that she's okay with the banning here. And then
show her how to get back.
Exactly. Show her how to circumvent. And then White Sox Sal says, why does Beef Loaf have sleeves on? I thought of you. I forgot to put some sleeves on. I am hot as hell right now, though. I was just in a hot tub, so I should have gone sleeveless. I should hike these babies up and get the pipes up, but I'm not going.
No thanks.
Look at that beaut right there.
See, that's good stuff. That's only $9.99 on the site right now.
Yeah. I mean,
what are you drinking, Treasy?
I'm drinking beer. Can you believe it?
Woo!
Oh, no way. Get the fuck
wow.
I had some people over not too long ago, and a bunch of people brought beer. And you know, I'm not going to throw up beer. That's disgraceful.
Hell no, you're not.
So I need to drink it. We'll just see how this goes. It's not good for 108 weight loss, but it's great for me enjoying beer because this is very delicious.
Yeah, there's no question.
That's great shit.
All right. Beef, how you doing tonight, buddy?
You know what? I've had this moral dilemma that I wanted to bring up the last few times we've done the podcast, but I've had other banters that come up and superseded it. This happened probably about a month ago, so I want to bring it up to you guys, just get your thoughts on it. So there's someone that I've been following for a long time on Twitter. I want to say probably 8 to 10 years. not some big name personality, but just someone I've been following. And they had a little bit of a rough go of it not too long ago. And they had, the GoFundMe out there, or like just a little like, can you share with the Cash App or something like that? I forget exactly the methodology, right? It's like, just a rough time, could use a few bucks. Now, the Beef Loaf is not rich, but I do have a little expendable cash. So in times like this, sometimes I just fire off. I mean, if you guys remember during the pandemic, I was giving away $100 a week for 6-8 weeks or whatever, just like to whoever needed it.
I don't think it was that long, but it was pretty good.
However, in the back of my mind, I remembered this person who I like very much from my Twitter interactions, never met in person.
Yeah.
This person went on like a 10-tweet tirade 3 years ago about how fucking stupid the 108 tourney is. Oh. And just body bagged the 108 tourney, which is my baby.
That's right.
So I'm like, okay, I would normally give this person some dough, and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to be petty. I'm going to hold this grudge from this long ago and not give the person money when I could have. Now, my question for you guys is me holding back the dough, is that valid? Or am I being a big asshole by doing this, holding that grudge for that long about that?
No,
I don't think. I mean, it's not someone you personally know, right? It's not like a friend or something that you personally know. Now, I might have thread the needle a little bit and been like, you know what? I'm not going to give money, but I'll retweet this. But it's a good thing you didn't, because someone would go back and find that now and then be like, oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I did not.
You don't want to do. That's not what you.
And good luck. You guys aren't finding that. I've got 3,400 people I follow, so it's just not even close. You're not going to find this shit.
Yeah, no, you didn't do nothing wrong. Oh, go ahead, Treasy. I thought you were done.
Oh, no. I was just going to continue to agree. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I feel like nowadays, like people, sometimes as we learned in another situation, and people are tweeting and or commenting about it. I don't need to name it. Everyone totally gets what I'm saying. So it's like, hey, sometimes people like, they're stupid. They're stupid with things. They're stupid with money. And then all of a sudden they're like, I don't know how am I supposed to pay these bills? Oh shit. What am I going to do? And they're like, I got to go play my PS5, or I got to go buy a new video game because I'm bored, because I can't, I can't afford to go do all these things. That's what I worry about, because if somebody really, really needs the money, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard, but I don't think you did anything wrong.
I just want to say, whatever people feel about what Beef Loaf did, don't let that get in the way of tipping us. All right.
Don't worry about how we waste our money. Just put it. No, and MSS, that doesn't worry me at all. If I make the decision that I'm going to give money to someone, I don't give a shit what they use it on. I don't care if they use it on drugs. If I decide I'm going to give money, so that was not it. It was more like, look, if you're going to be nice to Uncle Beef, we'll share. I like to share my what I got.
Right.
But if you're mean to Uncle Beef, he's not going to be mean back necessarily, but he doesn't feel compelled to share with you,
They might not know, though, like, hey, maybe Uncle Beef doesn't make as much money as, like, Uncle Beef knows. Like, or maybe, actually
it's not that. It's just not cognizance. It's just not cognizance, MSS, of, you know what, I should just be nice to everyone, because I might be in need at some point, and something like this could happen, kind of thing.
No, because there's tons of people that would come to your side of need that haven't ripped on something that you built build up, from nothing, So like, to me, it's like, I think that's one of those things that,
cheers,
like,
Billy.
People,
Thank you, Billy.
Cheers. It's one of those things that people don't understand. It's like, yeah, you could be a dick, but you know what? Stick to your morals then, and don't expect. I don't think they expect you to donate. Like I'd be like, you know what? I don't even want your money because your ideas are stupid. So like, I think you're stupid because of your ideas. I don't want your money.
Okay, this is not true. Uncle Beef does not have a doorman. That is Treasy has a doorman.
I do have a doorman. My sucks summer. I enjoyed whatever you were just rambling about, but continue and tell me how you're doing tonight.
I'm horribly rambling. I'm doing okay, and I'm not doing awful. I'm not doing great. I'm just like right there in the middle, and I don't really have a lot to talk about tonight. Nothing really stuck out to me today, and I want to save the insanity shit for later, because we have a new segment tonight. So I'm going to save my crazy thing that I was going to talk about till later. And yeah, we're going to
read that.
From Brian S. Which, by the way, go especially this is how you pay for an ad right here, Brian. Go check out his show. It's getting drafty. It
up in here, I think.
Is it up in here? Okay. I didn't know there was an up in here.
Getting drafty
I don't think so. I think MS is making shit up. Yeah.
Anyways, Brian wrote, "You better not give this to that MF or you were referencing." I love it.
Cheers, Brian. Thank you. I watched about half of it last night. I totally forgot it was on. So I watched it from the middle to the end, and they're drafting original NES games. And not only was the discussion interesting, but the comments were crazy because everyone's throwing stuff in there or they're bagging on someone's pick. It was a lot of fun. So go check Brian's show out.
I was watching Wednesday last
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you.
On the new Netflix series Wednesday, which was good. Father Zoe recommended it and said it was good, so I tried that out. Treasy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I saw a trailer today, guys.
Oh, boy.
For a movie called Cocaine
Spider-Man?
Bear.
Oh. Yes.
We're renting a movie theater out for this, right? Like that has to happen. Like there's no other way that there has to be like 50 of like everyone in the comments, you're coming. Like we're gonna go watch. We're gonna go all watch this together. There's no way we're not going to.
You're 100%. You're 100% right, Tracy. When I saw it, I was like, first off, White Sox Dave retweeted it, and he's like, I can't wait to go see this. And when I started watching it, 30 seconds into the trailer on Twitter, I thought, is this fake? Is this a fake movie? But there's real actors in it.
You saw Leota. It's Leota's last stand.
It's a swan song. How could you not watch The Last Leota? And it's about a bear coked out of its gourd. And like the action scenes, it's 2-minute trailer. So you get a lot in there. The action scenes are fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't know if it's a horror movie or a comedy or what the fuck it is, but it looks great.
It's all of it. And I believe Elizabeth Banks directed it. That's like the extra piece on top is that Elizabeth Banks is the director. But so here's the funny thing about this. So they went straight up Sci-Fi Channel. Like, we're going to take a true story and use about 1/1,000,000th of that for this. So like, I remember there was a Sci-Fi Channel thing where like, they're like based on a true story. And it was like these fish fly up on to land and then like they start walking and then they like kill a whole town, right? This is based on a story on some fish that got onto land and walked for like 3 blocks before they died. Like much like this, it's a bear like this. The first part happened like I don't know if it was from a plane or whatever. Like cocaine it ended up in like someone lost cocaine in the forest. And a bear ate it and died. That's it. That's the end of the story.
That's the beginning of this story, though. The actual movie story. Yeah, cheers, Jerry. Appreciate you.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Jerry. You trying to get me drunk before we're
the bear lives through it, and this is just the first 30 seconds of the movie. So I'm very excited to see what they do with it. But yeah, I think like it's one of those things where I kept hearing about this for over a year. It's been years that I've heard about this, or like at least 18 months or something, where you've been hearing about cocaine beer. Cocaine beer. That's what we're doing right now.
That's not
cocaine bear.
Good shit.
Cocaine Bear was like, okay, they're making this, and it was like, is this real? You know, Beef, the way you were like, is this actually a real movie? That's how I think how most of the internet was for a long time, where they're like, is just a joke? Is there going to be like some kind of like, are they messing with us? And like to see the trailer, like the poster came out recently, and you're like, man, this might actually happen. And then the trailer came out, and you're like, okay, they're doing this. They wouldn't fuck around. They wouldn't continue to fuck around with the joke and have Leota still in it.
And also you can't kill a movie when it's Leota's last stuff in the can. You got to use it. This isn't like Tupac. You can't posthumously come out 20 years from now. Fuck that. Maybe. You got to use that shit when you got it going. Billy Wires says, please invite Daryl Dawkins' widow to the screening of Cocaine. I'll reach out. I'll reach out, Billy. That's a deep cut. You got to be an OG 108er to know that one.
Yeah, no, I don't want her on there. I don't want to bring up cocaine around her about her dad's husband. You don't want to talk about that.
MSS, man, I got to tell you, I think you probably sent me a new graphic, but I don't.
No, I didn't. I did not. I did not. Yep, go for it. Yo, I know it's December, but disregard that little turkey down there. It's only the first day. The holiday season is upon us. It is starting today. Winter is almost here. You only got 19 more days for that, and you need to have reliable transportation during the long snow-filled winter days. And Mazda of Orland Park is here to help. Right now, Mazda of Orland Park has 88 vehicles in stock. And I don't know if they sold any during their Black Friday sale. I don't know if they had a Black Friday sale, but maybe. So let's just say maybe they have 87 vehicles ready to sell for you, the 108 listener. All sorts of vehicles that are highly reliable and highly rated by those who know about that stuff. You can't go wrong with any of their vehicles, new or used. Mazda stands behind their vehicles 108%. Maybe you don't need a new vehicle. Maybe you need new shoes on that ride. Mazda is still running their maybe 3-buy 3 get 1 free tire deal that has been so successful. And remember, they will price match, so you can be confident you are getting the lowest price. Interested and want to know more? Head on over to www.mazdaofrolandpark.com and get to know their full lineup. Give them a follow on Twitter at ZoomZoomNation to get updates on all things Mazda. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom Zoom.
All right. It's time for some White Sox talk, baby. We haven't had any big news for a little bit. Now we got some big news. And we're going to start off. We're going to start off with a little goodbye to our good friend, Jose Abreu. Jose will be deeply missed by the 108, one of our favorite players. And My Sox Summer, I'm going to kick it to you first because you wrote a blog about this.
I did. Wrote a blog. Jose Abreu is probably, and I don't know if it's a consensus between the three of us, was easily one of our top players on this team. Top players through the rebuild, top players since 2014. The fact that he's 35, allegedly, he's probably like 42. But he thinks he's only 35. This guy, an old guy out there, still killing it, still showing these young guys how it's done, was a joy to watch. I still remember walking into the park and hearing the whole story about Jose Abreu up till 3:00 in the morning because there was like a typhoon that was going to hit Cuba, or a hurricane was going to hit Cuba, and he was worried about his family. And once he got the okay that they were safe, he went to bed, and it happened to be 3:00 in the morning. And you would think, hey, this guy's going to take the day off. Absolutely not. He goes out there and hits the fucking cycle. And that's just who this kind of guy is. Like he was not, he got his contract extension in 2019 when he brought him back as a free agent. And he promptly won the MVP right after that when people said, you're not worth this. You're not worth this money. We shouldn't have done this. This is fucking stupid. So let's get rid of this motherfucker. He comes back, he wins the MVP, and everyone's like, you know what? I've been in on Jose since he's been here. Like I don't remember what I said this last.
My man, minute. $50,000. That's what. That's what everyone's saying.
So unfortunately, we are like poor planning, poor execution, poor like asset moving has put us into a position where we have two guys that cannot play the outfield that we want to play the outfield. You have an Andrew Vaughn who is serviceable in left field. I would say serviceable, kind of.
No.
I don't.
He's very bad. He was the worst outfielder in Major League Baseball last year.
It's like if you got him as a hooker,
that's poor service, basically.
You wouldn't want him to do anything to you other than a hand job. You'd be like, this is the only thing I trust you to do. You will fuck up everything else. Eloy, every time Eloy is out there, I mean, he's okay, right? He's not, again, not great, but he gets hurt so easily.
He might rip a titty off. Remember he ripped a titty off that one time?
Yes. Doing something stupid. So we can't trust him up here, and we can't trust here. So we're going to have to take him and put him on the bench, bubble wrap him, so he stays there. We need him just to DH. We don't need him going out into the outfield and getting hurt again. Okay, so this is where we're like, this is like the problem, right? So now, do you bring back in Jose Abreu, who's clearly a fan favorite, and give him the amount of money that he just got in Houston? So I don't know. I'm not reading these. That's funny.
Good. Don't keep that on your thought because that was good.
I like the googly eyes. But no. So like we have this log jam, and James Fox of Future Sox put out a tweet and did a poll where he said, "Would you have wanted the White Sox to give Jose Abreu $60 million over 3 years?" And it was a resounding no. They were
insanity.
Nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him.
You don't have to pay it.
It's not your money. It's not. That's what I thought the entire time. I thought, you know what this is? This is a fan base that is beaten down by the cheapness of Jerry Reinsdorf, that they think that no, you should not give a valuable player that money. When a bunch of teams were lining up to give Jose Abreu a deal, there was like 5 teams that were like, "Oh shit, I can't believe the Astros got him instead of us." Like,
That's what you need to pump your brakes, Loaf. I'm getting there. And that was where the biggest problem. And one of the things that I brought up very briefly in the blog, I said, the thing that really drives me nuts about this is the fact that the White Sox didn't capitalize on this. Like, there was obviously a major market for Jose Abreu, okay? And I know trading assets in the middle of the season signals an end, a white flag we've given up, but, like, we could have traded him for something. We could have got something back for Jose Abreu. And now, before everyone starts screaming at me, my Sox summer, you dumb shit, well, we shouldn't have done that. You could have traded him to fucking Houston for God knows what. The motherfucker could have got a World Series.
No. This is the wrong way to think about it. This is the wrong way to think about it.
All right. Well, what's this thing?
You know what the wrong? You know why it's the wrong way to think about it?
No, it's not the wrong way. But go ahead.
No. Let me tell you why it's the wrong way to think about it. We had a beautiful Jose Abreu on the team. We were close to the division lead.
That's true.
You don't trade Jose Abreu, but you know what you do? You trade other people to make the team better, so you give that team a chance. So Jose Abreu is on a team that has a chance, and instead you get Jake Diekman.
I was going to say, Treasy, by other people, you mean you trade Reese McGuire for Jake Diekman, and that's how you really make the team better for the stretch run and try to win the division, right?
Like, you're right. They needed the trade. They didn't need to trade Jose Abreu. They needed the players to surround Jose Abreu. Just like before the season, they needed to sign guys to go around Jose Abreu. And instead, they used the same lame-ass excuse again this year, like, oh, we don't know what to do with all this. We have no idea what to do other than get relievers.
We've tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas. Yes. I know. You know what? You make a good point there. I just wish that, like, you know, it didn't end the way it ended. And I talked about this today with some people, and I was upset that you had Jose Abreu not play in his last game at Sox Park. We did not get to see him. We did not get to have the send off to Jose Abreu that he probably deserved. Like, he will get welcome back, and they'll play a nice video, and everyone will stand up and go like this, and then we'll probably get our asses handed to us by the Astros, and we'll chant cheater at Jose Altuve. Maybe Gabe will yell backstabber in the face at Jose Abreu when he goes up to bat. You know, who knows? Like, we're probably going to do that, but it's unfortunate that the Sox have done this now to 2 out of the last 3 all-star first basemen that they've had. Frank Thomas did not get a proper send-off, did not get a proper, hey, thank you. And he's a fucking Hall of Famer.
Right.
Paul Konerko got it, but I think Paul Konerko got it because he signed the team-friendly deal right after the World Series. And I think, you can do that. I think that it made financial sense, to the Sox to keep him around because it was so cheap. I wish it was different, but I don't think it could have been. And so, like, I understand why it happened rationally, but the feelings inside me, for wanting to see Jose Abreu out there for another 3 years, I wish that he was there, but I also, like, I can understand why they did not do it. You guys, what did you guys think?
So I got a question for you guys. So, I mean, I think I hear a lot of people talking about a lot of people are making the comparison of, who would you want, Andrew Vaughn or Jose Abreu? Don't you want to give Andrew Vaughn his time at first base? And I'm looking at the construction of the team. And if we started the season right now, Eloy Jimenez would be playing the outfield. And so if Eloy is in the outfield on the first day of the season, and you've got like Jake Berger DHing, you could have kept Jose Abreu.
Right.
Like,
yes, you could have.
Everyone acts like suddenly there's no spot on the team for Jose Abreu. Like, where could we possibly put the best hitter on our team? I don't know what we could. What could we do? What are we, a baseball team? We're supposed to figure this out. And so, and I get it.
Listen,
if they fill up the outfield and there's all these good players, and now Eloy can slide in the DH and Vaughn is everyday first baseman, you made a tough decision. I'm not going to fault him that much on it. I'm also not going to be in the camp of I'm rooting for Jose to win a championship. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
No.
But I will say, okay, that's fine. If Eloy's in the outfield, one game in the first series against the Astros, I'm going to smash someone else's TV. I'm not going to do it to my own. I'm going to go to someone else's house, and I'm going to. I would like to find Rick Hahn if that's the case, and give him the Pulisic treatment if I could, like a little groin injury for him. That might be what he needs.
Little Joe Klecko giving him the business. Is that what you're
a little bit.
Here's my thoughts.
What do you got?
MSS, I thought you killed it on the blog. I mean, I was supremely impressed, not only with the emotion that I think you captured of all Sox fans, the starkness of the reality of it. Even though we don't like it, we kind of we're cognizant of this is kind of how it's going to be. And not that we necessarily have to agree with it, even though some people do agree with it. I'm not personally one of those people, but you laid it nicely there. But also you layered in the accomplishments, and you layered in the timeline of people were ready to give up on the guy after 19. And there was a small vocal minority, the 108ers being some of them, that were very pro Jose Abreu with that new contract and thought he would do great. And that small group, or at least a small internet group, I think the fan base, people that actually asses and seats love Jose Abreu, and they did love him through that.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought you did a great job of capturing all that stuff. One thing I was thinking about reading your blog, though, is do you think that because of the full court press the Sox media put on for the prospects, do you think Jose Abreu was actually underrated as we started coming out of the rebuild? And people were taking him for granted kind of, and he stayed the best player on the team. He legitimately was the best player on the team in 20, obviously, because he was the MVP. In 21, he dipped a little bit, but then 2022, again, at least the best hitter on the team. Do you think he was kind of a little underrated in that in these last few years?
I think there's part of it that yes is him being underrated. And thank you, Sal, for the drink.
Yeah, bless you, Sal.
I'll get there. I got a craft board. I got a craft board blog in the mix. So
what I will say,
Job City.
What I will say though is I think people didn't appreciate just how much he played, how many innings he put in, and we watched him this year, and the three of us would talk about this often, where we're like, this guy's doing absolutely fantastic, best hitter on the team. And he's obviously hurt. There's obviously something wrong with him. He's playing through an injury, which I think was, a lot of people are like, what kind of leader was he? The team kind of fell apart, and it's there's guys out there who we know are not guys that get back out there and play every day, and they're getting back out there and playing every day. They were following that lead. They were saying, this guy, I'm 10 years younger than this guy. This guy's hurt, and I'm the one sitting out. I'm not going to do that. And I think you started to see guys like Moncada and Eloy playing through injuries where you're like, man, this guy's fucked up, and he's still going to play. Lurie Garcia's in that boat too.
For sure.
I mean, and you guys could say whatever you want about Lurie in the comments, and it's not unfounded. He played bad, but we definitely watched him games where we're like, this guy can't walk. And he's playing short. He's playing shortstop, and he's hitting. And exactly. He's swinging. He's not hitting, but he's trying, which is insane because but I think that's part of the leadership that Jose gave, which was he was out there every day. His ball almost got torn off, and that's he took a day off.
He did, and he got his clock clean too by was it Grandal that just took him out, or was it Soto that took him out?
No, that was someone on Kansas City.
Royals, right?
That was on someone in Kansas City. They collided. I forget who it was. I want to say it was
just
Ryan O'Hearn or someone.
Insane collision. Yeah, because we heard it in the 108, and it felt like somebody snapped a 2x4 right next to our ear, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna play tomorrow." You're like, I don't think you should.
What?
I think that seems a little aggressive, Jose. Let's slow down. Now,
Tracy, I'm glad you went that angle with the leadership, because I've seen way too many people bagging him on the leadership on the way out, and it's first off, one, you're not in the locker room, you don't know, and two, if Tim Anderson's not playing well or Luis Roberts not playing well, that's not Jose's fault. These are other grown professionals, and like you said, and MSS said it too in the blog. He went out there and he played hard all the time, and he played hurt, And I don't know what else you want from the guy. Was he got he's the one. There was a story a long time ago. He got the fucking iPad for Eloy so he could study. Okay, so that's leadership in my opinion. All you dumbasses that don't understand what leadership is, go ahead, bag Jose on the way out. In fact, if you do it, I'll know you're a fucking idiot. I'll be insured you're a fucking idiot on Twitter. I'll mark you specifically like I used to mark in PokerStars notes, idiot. I'll mark you on Twitter, idiot.
Let me just say, MSS, let me say this. We now know that if you say that Jose Abreu is not a leader, Beefloaf will never give you money.
He's not going to get it. I just think it's interesting, too, that like somebody would say that and then knowing the story of the iPad, and maybe that was just a good feel-good story they threw out there, but like you should be really mad at the hitting coach or the whole department of being like, hey, maybe we should give these guys an iPad. But Jose Abreu is like, hey, guess what? They're not going to do it. So here, I'm going to give you an iPad so you can figure this shit out because this is how I do it.
Also,
it infuriates me, and it makes me even madder than I was already. Go ahead. But I was going to talk about Jerry's comment, but go ahead, Treasy.
No, I was just going to say he ate his goddamn passport to be on this team.
He did. On a flight.
Yes, he did.
You know what? He was probably in coach, too. He probably wasn't even in first class. He was a fucking coach. And that motherfucker, he's a 6 foot.
Thanks, Gordo.
Gordo, appreciate you, brother.
Like sitting there, like trying to eat the shit, and like, oh god, I don't know how delicious Cuban passports are, but I bet they're fucking great.
It was a Haitian passport because it was a fake. It was like that's why he had to eat it.
Okay,
that's why he had to eat it, right?
Yeah.
It real. Jerry put down this thing in a comment where he said that Sox fans always fall in love with the prospects. And he's 100% correct. Sox fans, as we've said 1.5 million fucking times, love the unknown, and prospects are the unknown. I sent you guys a tweet earlier today, and they're like, this is our 3 new outfielders. And they were just like, 2 are totally unproven, and 1 has been in the major leagues and is totally not doing what we thought he was going to do. So, like,
right.
I don't want to call out, like, Luis Robert, but like the earthquake, the butterfly effect of Jose Abreu leaving means that Luis Robert, Eloy, and Andrew Vaughn better get their fucking shit together, and they better be on the same page, and they better be fucking hitting home runs, because you have just gotten rid of a guy that was supposed to add in his 15, 20, maybe 25 per year just to like see what happened, and he almost fucking led you guys in home runs last year, and he was supposed to be the afterthought. So we're putting a lot of pressure onto these people that are supposed to be there. So, and guys,
read that comment. Read that comment.
Zach says, we love prospects because we know we won't ever pay up for a proper free agent. What else do we put our faith? I mean, that's a good call.
This is more of a beaten down fan base, right?
Yeah.
Like we'll just take it. All right,
we're talking about that. Loaf and I were talking about that quickly in the chat.
Senor Sox, thank you for the drink. If he says, please mute Beer Money Jim in the comment section, we will not do that. No, we're not muting commenters. So
we even let the porn bots in, but
Jim,
they haven't been visiting.
Jim, keep going. We're not paying attention to your comments, but no, I mean, presumably you are. Presumably you're.
He's having a good time. Let him have a good time.
Yeah, just let him enjoy it. Exactly.
That's right. 108. So yeah, Jose Abreu, you're going to be missed. I really liked him. He was one of my faves. Yeah, it's bad that he's going to, he's going to the dark side, for the most part. But that kind of blows. But good for him. So we couldn't do it. I think there's a story behind the scenes that we don't know. I don't like the it just wasn't meant to be.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like that because you can do whatever you want. Like Tony La Russa probably shouldn't have got a job managing a baseball team again, but it happened because somebody wanted it to happen. If you really, really wanted Jose Abreu to come back and play on this team, you probably could have done it, and it wouldn't have mattered. Han didn't want him in 19.
Not I was going to say, Han did not want him in 19.
Because it's hilarious to hear a billionaire go like, couldn't make the money work out.
Yeah, guys. I mean, shit.
We got to I had to move between the Fidelity account and the Vanguard. Guys, I couldn't get it together.
Gary's like, I got to
Venmo him
a month and a half.
I'm just terrible with the phone, I don't know.
So I mean, both can't be true. So just either do it or don't do it, but don't run it down there. Be like, you can sell it in a different way. You can say, listen, we're totally excited about our youth, and we want to invest in youth. We were just not, ready to do that. I know people don't want to hear that, but you know what? You're going to piss people off anyway, so you might as well be fucking honest, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Don't pretend that you're going to be sentimental about something.
Why lie to us? Why treat us like fucking morons?
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's because we're not idiots. I mean, well,
the billionaire is standing there.
I'm kind of an idiot.
His pockets out like Mr. Monopoly. like, how could we have ever made this work? Who knows? Who knows, guys?
Before we flip the question 2 on Jose, White Sox Sal says, how many Andrew Vaughn dongs will soften the blow for you guys?
That's a good question.
Year, how many dongers you guys need out of Andrew Vaughn to you'll feel better about this?
I need 32.
I need 30 out of him at first base.
32.
And
that's the number I was thinking too.
I need 30 out of Eloy at DH.
So 60 out of the 2 guys.
Yeah, because Beef, they're acting. They're acting like they've filled all these other positions, and that no one gets hurt.
It's all open, exactly.
No one gets
wide open.
Eloy's going to be healthy all year. We won't need another DH.
Robert needs to do it too. Robert needs to hit probably 30 home runs.
Chuck, love you, buddy. 30. Thank you for the drink.
Chuck, definitely. Chuck. And Chuck, we are talking about doing a 79 for Jose next week, so be prepared for that one.
Yes.
Chuck also supported my daughter's school and bought some raffle tickets. So
awesome!
Chuck likes the degenerate gambling.
Now MSS, work your angles here. He doesn't have to win the top prize, but get him. No. Make sure he gets pulled for a little lower level prize. What the fuck?
Listen, I'll do this. Here's what I'll do.
Put a little piece of tape on the end of his
ticket. Yeah, exactly.
If I win anything, because my mother-in-law, if she wins, she's not giving anybody anything. Right. But if I get that $500, okay, because I sold a winning ticket, that $500 is going to go on the bar when I'm with the people that have bought tickets, and we'll just drink it. Now, you two have not bought tickets, so you always don't get to drink in that. So, but everybody else that has bought tickets, they can drink up. So we'll do that.
Treasy and I have invested a lot of money into Bridgeport Catholic.
I bought tickets from someone else.
I was going to say, another person reached out to me. I was thinking, I cannot buy them from you because my guy MSS is selling them.
I actually just went to the school and said, does anyone else have? Yeah.
Anyone not my Sock Summer, that's who you wanted to buy.
Exactly. Listen, if Slim Mick sold you guys tickets, it's totally okay. It's totally okay.
White Sox Sal says, Jerry faded Beeflo's Jets moneyline season bets, and he couldn't afford Pito. And he said she told Treasy to get tickets. You got red-handed, buddy.
This 100% happened. I'm just a little disappointed in
the commenters.
How stealth we're keeping it at home here.
You know what, Treasy? Block Quernsey from the comments. That's what I suggest.
First one block.
Jerry O'Sullivan says freeze his ticket like the Patrick Ewing envelope. That's right. Make sure the Knicks got Patrick Ewing first. They froze the envelope, and I think it was Ernst & Young maybe who did that. So hire Ernst & Young to freeze the ticket, and we'll get Chuck the winner.
I want to know what are we winning here? What's the grand prize?
It used to be 10K.
Oh, 10 grand. Yeah.
Oh, no inflation, Treasy. No inflation. Shit was 10K when we was kids, man.
10 grand.
It's 10 grand, but the tickets are $50 a piece now.
No, it's $10.
It's still $10. All right.
They're probably still $2. But yeah.
So I will buy some from you, and I'll make this promise.
Okay.
If I win the 10 grand.
Yeah.
I'm buying one of those 1986. Is it 86 or 87? Fleer basketball packs.
Yes. Yes. You open that shit right on there on YouTube? I love it.
I'll open that on YouTube, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dude, all right. I mean, I want to sidebar this for 1 second. My godfather was a big car collector, still is. I sold a bunch of his collection on eBay. Just mostly the boxes that were sealed. Like Treasy, you bought an Elf box,
Yeah.
The really rich one. But yeah, so he used to buy those 86 Fleer packs. Holy shit. They were $200 a pack back in the day. And I remember just being, this is totally insane. He's spending $200 on a pack of cards. But then he does.
MJ's rookies in there somewhere.
You know how many fucking Jordan rookies he had at one point? He had 6. He had 6 Jordan rookies.
There was only 180 cards in the set, so you're going to get Jordan rookie pretty quick. Nathan Sheba in the comment says, whoa, MSS, where do I buy tickets? So make sure you DM Nathan Sheba after the show.
I'm going to hit you up.
Let him know. Hit him up after the show. Not during the show, okay? We're performing here, MSS.
All right, well, unless I get muted.
I know you need $10 or whatever.
I do have some elf cards. Dude. In case anyone needs them.
Final segment.
Elves are great.
We'll see. So there was another move. There was another move that happened. Yep. And Beef, you wrote a beautiful blog about Mike Clevenger.
Oh, bless you. There's Rod Roddy. I love Rod Roddy.
Come on down. Beef, tell us about the Mike Clevenger sign.
Yeah, Mike Clevenger. So Mike Clevenger spent last season in San Diego, 32-year-old right-hander. White Sox fans remember him vividly because he used to play for Cleveland, and he actually really dominated when he was with Cleveland. He got traded in the COVID season because he broke COVID protocols, and Cleveland just wanted to loan him. Now, they got a haul back for him, and then almost immediately afterwards, he ended up having to get Tommy John surgery. Now, this is his second Tommy John surgery that he's received. Now, this is rare. Most pitchers get one Tommy John surgery, and a lot of them come back fine and sometimes come back even stronger. The evidence of guys coming back from the second Tommy John surgery is lighter. It's riskier. These guys don't often stay durable or even good. So the fact that he was even able to get it back on the hill and get 22 starts last season is kind of impressive. However, he wasn't very good. 114 in third innings, 4.33 ERA. That's a 86 ERA plus. ERA plus average major leagues is 100, so that's 14% below average. He gave up 1.6 home runs per 9 innings, and his K rate, which becomes more and more important in Major League Baseball, is 18.8%, well below league average. So a lot of his stats lagging there. He pitched in the playoffs, and he got absolutely clobbered both times. He pitched against the Dodgers, and he got 2 2/3 innings in a start and gave up 5 runs, 4 earned. And then against the Phillies in the NLCS, if you're watching the NLCS and the Phillies' majestic run where they were hitting a bunch of home runs, he did not make it out of the first inning. He didn't get a single fucking out. He gave up 3 runs. He was nixed from the game kind of immediately. We don't know the final contract situation for the White Sox. What we've heard out there is that there's $12 million guaranteed. That's all we kind of really know there. Upon digging in a little bit with Clevenger here is I dug into his statistics a little deeper. A few things I noticed. One, he started throwing a sinker in 2022, which he had not been throwing since very early in his major league career. And Treasy, that was helping him with the home run problem.
Yep.
They were beating the sinker into the ground. They were not hitting it very hard.
Also good pitch in our park.
And yeah, exactly. And translates beautifully because we have a tough home run park. And he gave up a lot of fly balls last year, which was uncharacteristic. I think the sinker was probably to combat that. Secondarily, I went and data snooped, and I lifted all of, because I'm looking at his game logs, and I'm like, boy, the Dodgers really kicked his ass hard. He won't have to face the Dodgers when he was with the White Sox. Oh, guess what? When he had to pitch in Coors, he had 2 starts in Coors, he got fucking clobbered. So I ripped those out of his stats. And when you rip those out, Mike Clevenger, 3.35 ERA. Not too bad. Like, okay, maybe if he's pitching against the bums of the AL Central, and I know that the schedule is not as unbalanced as it used to be. It's switching more to more of a balanced schedule. Thank you, Bruhan. Luke, appreciate you.
Yeah, that's a horrible comment, Luke. What the fuck? Trip again. See if you can figure out how to comment with the tip.
If we're back in that, and he's got kind of more of an even schedule, that it could be beneficial. He's not going to be facing, whatever. He's not going to face a lot of tough teams in the AL. There were only 2 teams that were better than the Dodgers offense in the American League last year, and that was the Blue Jays and the Yankees. And the Yankees without Aaron Judge ain't better. So it's less worrisome, and especially pitching against our division. Last thing to warn everyone of, he's not a horse. He does not throw a lot of innings. So the White Sox really need innings right now because you're not sure about what Michael Kopech's going to be. And when you hire the 5th starter, you'd like them to be a guy who takes the ball a lot. He had 1 200-inning season, but that's way in the rear view. I think it was in 2018. Otherwise, his highest innings pitched in a season is 126. So 2 Tommy John surgeries and then 126 innings is the second highest innings pitched. So I don't know what they're going for here. Thank you, Dougie. Appreciate you for the drink.
I already did my ad read.
But there's a lot of risk in a Mike Clevenger. Now, it may turn out great, but right now you can see the various risks. And I guess this is what it is. When you buy a 5th starter, you're going to have a bunch of these things. And so that's where we're at. Treasy, MSS, what do you guys think?
Go ahead, MSS.
I don't know. To me, it's such a meh signing. It's mid, right? That's what the kids call it, right? It's mid. So, and here's the thing. And I'm sorry, Teresa.
Oh, we must drink. Here's the thing.
But it is when you put in he's not a horse. He doesn't eat innings, and he's going to be our 5th starter. Yeah. It's somewhat concerning. And it also means that maybe the inmates are running the asylum because we get a Joe Kelly in who's hurt, and like, hey, well, let's see if he can figure it out now. Now he's hurt. You're like, why are we not buying the things that we need and that we should be able to use immediately, right? Like
Yeah.
Hey, let's get this guy who can't, he can't eat innings, and let's hopefully he's good. Oh, let's just hope that it happens. We're gonna hope that he fucking gets in there. Now, one thing we can't deny: unbelievably great hair. Like the guy has the best head of hair,
quality.
I mean, that's good flow. So, if we ever wanted to bring back Flow Friday, and he could pitch a lot of Fridays. I mean, let's be honest. He could be a Friday pitch guy.
Cheers,
so let's. Because opening day is on a Monday, he could be a lot of Flow Fridays with Mike Clevenger. This could be some shit, right? You could have him become, I know maybe he have I don't think he's going to be good enough to get a bobblehead from the White Sox, but then you could have that fake natural hair with Mike Clevenger.
Yeah, Teresi and I saw him in San Diego that Saturday night when we were there in San Diego. He faced off against Dylan Cease, and we were in Upper Deck that game, but still great view from Upper Deck, and the flow was tremendous. Teresi, you agree, right?
Now,
yeah. Oh,
I'll say this, and this is my last. Statement on Mike Clevenger. I'm going to trust whoever picked Johnny Cueto last year and said, "Let's take this guy. He's going to have something to do." So if the same people are involved in picking Mike Clevenger, then I'm okay with it. So I'm going to trust that process.
Here you go, Tracy.
Hold on, now that's because it worked out very well.
But let me just kind of lay out that scenario because the context of it is important. Okay. Right. So no one really chose Johnny Cueto. It was more that Lance Lynn got hurt. They needed a starting pitcher.
Right.
And there was one. If I'm tweeting, it's Johnny Cueto time. As soon as that happened, everyone is thinking,
don't roll your eyes because they chose Vince Velasquez first.
Right.
And Vince Velasquez right out the gate. It's that's going to be the guy.
That's where I was going to go next. And that's why. And I want to say that this is why I'm a little bit positive. In fact, I'm going to say I'm very positive on this. I'm going to be very positive. Why not be positive? Everyone else wants to be negative. I'm going to be positive. As always. As always.
That's right.
MSS, the guy they did go after last year to be that kind of floating fifth starter relief guy was Velasquez. And part of it was, to your point, Katz was like, I want this guy.
Okay.
I think I could work with him. But the problem was they got locked out. So they couldn't work with him. So Katz has even said that he thinks he could have got a lot more out of Velasquez had he had the time to work with him, which is why I like them striking very early on Clevenger, because it is going to give him the time to work with Katz through the entire winter, right? They have 2.5 months before pitchers and catchers show up. That's a lot of time for them to kind of work through this. And so I do like that part of it. I'm going to throw something out at you guys, though.
Go for it, baby.
I don't think this is the last starting pitcher they sign.
No.
Ooh, okay.
In fact, I don't think Michael Kopech is a starting pitcher on this team.
Oh. Wow.
That's crazy talk.
That is crazy talk. I agree on this.
Because of the injury concerns.
Yeah.
He may start the year on the IL. And if they do fill the rotation and the rotation is going well, there's no reason that when he's ready to come back, that you force him into a starting role if everyone's pitching well. And I think you need to have 5 starters.
If everyone's pitching well.
Yeah.
And not hurt. And also not hurt.
That's because they will. But that's why you have to get another starter. Because I don't think anyone right now can say that Michael Kopech's going to start the year with the team.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know.
Right?
They're hoping that's the case, right?
And I would hope that they're not going to say Davis Martin, who we also don't know if he's going to start the year with the team, that he's going to be the starter. So Dallas Keuchel, that'd be Cole Hamels.
Greg wants to know, is Dallas Keuchel available? I think so. I think he's highly available right now.
It's either Hamels or Keuchel. I can't remember what they're going to get. But I think they do sign another starter, and
when you say this, stop here for a second. When you say that, what level of starter you think? You think it's Vince Velasquez level, right?
No, I think
long man kind of guy.
I'm going to say it's the level above Clevenger.
So you think they're going to spend 15, 18 million on another starter?
No.
And now that puts you up at the last year's payroll, basically, with filling in nothing else.
No. Whoa. There's a different guy that's got to go in this scenario, and that's Liam Hendricks. they're going to have to trade Hendricks to fill out the rotation.
It's gobble.
All right.
Marijuana
alert.
It's a long pod. I want to bring this up first. Tim Maher says, if you take out the parts where he sucked, he wasn't too bad. He said signs of a beaten down fan base. Yes, I was looking for bright sides, Tim. I mean, that's where I was going with that. Teresi, I agree with you. I even wrote this in my notes. I said, the Sox striking early on this has me in two scenarios. Here's the way I love it. I love it if Ethan Katz and his staff evaluated Clevenger, discuss detailed adjustments he thinks they can make that improve his current situation, and make him like back into a mid-rotation starter. And then Hahn and the crew realized, okay, well, the pricing we're going to be able to get, if they make these improvements, we got a big overlay, we're going to go get this guy. Perfect. If that's what they're thinking, I fucking love it, even at $12 million. $12 million felt high, even though now a Matt Boyd and some of these guys are starting to get more money.
Is it $12 million? Or is it?
We got $12 million guaranteed.
Right? So we know $12 million
So it could be a buyout. But
we also saw it's more than $8 million, which makes me, if I'm reading between the lines on that, I'm thinking it's 1 year, $8 million with some huge option the next year. Let's call it $20 million, but a $4 million buyout.
Yeah.
And that's how you get to 12. And if that's the case, I don't hate that. Like that's a fine price when Matt Boyd's getting $10 million.
The 12
Brandon Flowers.
The 12 is still 12. However, no, I agree with you. That's fine. But if that's that process that's important to me.
Yeah.
If that was the process, great. Now, if the process was Kenny Williams and Rick Hahn are still horny about a guy they wanted to trade for in 2020, and the price came down, and they didn't really analyze any of this shit, and they just said, we're going to get the guy that we liked, and because we're smart and we're going to be right about this guy, then I fucking hate it. Then I don't like it at all. So there's like, it could go in a lot of different directions. If it was informed by the pitching people, and they said, get that guy, let's get that guy, we can do stuff with him, I'm going to be over the moon. I need to hear that. Here's what I need. I need James Fegan out there in these Twitter streets talking to Ethan Katz and scrape that information. Otherwise, I'm going to be nervous. I might even get the nervous shits like I got last year every time Lucas Giolito pitched.
Known 108 hater James Fegan is probably listening to this podcast right now. So get right on that, James. I just gave you guys $12 at the Athletics, so I basically pay your salary. So please make sure that happens. Now, so Timothy Marr also put something out earlier where he says they have 2.5 months before pitchers and catchers every offseason, and Hahn always sits on his goddamn hands. Now, listen. Here's where this is going to be a little different because Ethan Katz just survived a mass firing, and he's not Kenny Williams' best friend. He is definitely he's at least a little bit respected potentially by the people in charge.
Yep.
But also he knows that he's probably trending in the right way where he's made some good decisions. So he's like, hey, listen. And I like what Teresi said, and if he thought that, he needed those locked out months to get Valence Velasquez back up and running. I know that was there's a lot of phlegm there, and I'm sorry, Sal.
It sounded good.
You can make fun
of
me.
I appreciate it.
I think that's how his name deserves to be said.
But all I'm saying is that Ethan Katz is still hungry. Ethan Katz hasn't been jumped in yet. Don Cooper's jumped in. Kelly Williams has jumped in. Rick Hahn has definitely jumped in. Friend of the podcast, Brooks Boyer, definitely jumped them all in. He is the guy that does the beatdowns because that guy is in incredible shape. But I think that Ethan Katz still has something to prove with these people, and he's going to try to do what he's doing. He is not complacent in his job as just, I'll fix him. I think he has something to prove, and I think he probably wants to go on to somewhere after this, if he can't get what he wants here. So he wants to make sure that he's putting in good stuff here.
It's reasonable to think that Katz saw what Clevenger was doing last year and said, okay, those pitches that he's working with now, I can pick 3 of those out and go, we can make a solid foundation out of this. And that's all you need as a 5th starter. You need 3 pitches is good enough for a 5th starter, and I can work with that. I want to believe that this is not it for the pitching staff, and I don't want to believe that there's more relievers coming. Like, I don't think that there's more money going.
There's no more starters coming. I don't think they're getting a real starter, but maybe a fake starter. They get it.
I think you're going to see.
We're going to get Eric Fetty beef.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope you're right about that.
I think you're going to get some invites. You're going to get some invites to spring training that might surprise some people. That's what I'm going to say. That's my footlong hot dog comment of the day. You're going to get some. You're going to get some fucking people.
You'll delete it though if it doesn't happen. Just delete it if it doesn't happen. That's all the cool insiders do.
So yeah, note the time, Treasy. 55:39. Let's delete that if it doesn't work out. But yeah, no, I think you'll get some people invited to camp that you're going to be like, and then like we'll see. Let them fight, because we're all about the scrap heap right now. We're all about the scrap.
Damn right.
All right, MSS. Why don't you tell us about these Black Friday deals that we're still running?
So we have like tons and tons of deals. I think we still have it's 12 items. And we start at $4.99 and go all the way up to I think the highest is $14.99.
I think you're right. Yeah, and that's like a sweater.
Yeah, and I don't want to fuck with you people too much, but like $14.99 is like kind of less than our cost on most of the 5X items that we have in shop. So if you want to like come out and buy something, right? Like, and if you're plus size, please. If you wear a 3X, 2X, I got a lot of fucking sweatshirts for you. Okay. I made a mistake. I ordered a lot. Okay. It's not that they didn't sell. The larges and the XLs sold the fuck out. Right. I mean, I did the right thing. I just ordered too many of the plus sizes. I thought plus people love the fucking, the crew neck sweatshirts. They do not. Now, here's the deal. Our guy Brian, I don't know if he's still in the comments or not. Maybe he went.
Of course he's in there. He just tweeted. He just put in there.
Good job.
My package from MSS today.
So
of course
Brian ordered this beautiful shirt right here. Okay, Section 108. It's the Slayer version, the Slay 108er. Now, Brian just ordered that shirt. That's all he did. He just ordered one. Brian, if you want to say in the comments, and I'll just tell what I did. I included 3 other items that were the exact same size as that item. And I put that out to him because this is what we're doing. It's fucking my sack summer crazy fucking Christmas, baby. I am going to fucking, if you order something that's a plus size or I have other size items in that, I'm throwing that shit in there. I'm getting this shit out in my basement because I don't need it here no more. I need it to be gone. It needs to be gone. It needs to be gone. So please come and order something off our site. Starting at $4.99. Yep, that's a nice one. We're like halfway through these ornaments, folks. They change colors. They're beautiful. My wife still doesn't have one on the screen. Oh, that one does not change colors.
That's
it's always
angry.
Asshole. It's always angry. So yes. So yeah, please come through. Go to FromThe108.com or just go to Google like I do and do From the 108 store and it will come right up. It's a big cartel site. Go right in there, pick it out. Now listen, here's another thing that people have been listening.
Baloney says you just sent him the stuff you stole from Barstool Chicago.
Pretty much, yeah. I sent him a lot of that stuff because I can't fit in it. Dave threw me like a 3X shirt and I'm like, I can't fit in this. But no, sometimes our shipping gets a little fucked up because Big Cartel can't imagine that somebody.
Let me stop you there. Soxwood says, last time I ordered 108 gear, MSS threw in some very tasteful nude images of himself as well. Highly recommend.
Yep.
It's like the Costanza.
That's very true.
Still have the Polaroid camera. I will definitely.
Of course you do. Everyone knew that.
So, yep. Come on. Yes. But no. But
Gonzo's with the Polaroid.
The shipping gets a little fucked up because if you order like 5 items, it charges you for every item. Don't worry about it. We're gonna give you back that money. All right. Our guy Chris ordered a bunch of stuff and he was like, "Yo, this shipping is fucked up." And I was like, "Yeah, it is. We're gonna send you back about 80% of that." So we did, and we're men of our words. So yeah, that's what we got. So
thank you for that ad read, MSS. Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
The only thing I worry about with that ad read, though, I'm going to be honest with you. MSS promised he was going to give everyone like 4 things, and the person who orders it only gets 2 things.
Oh,
going to be like, fuck MSS. That asshole didn't send me as many things as he sent Brian S. God damn it.
Hold on. I'm gonna do the little fucking whatever those things are, the disclaimers. If I have the same size in shit that we need to get rid of, you'll get it. Trust me. So, and I said, if you're plus size, especially 3X or 2X or 4X, fucking order because I got a bunch of shit to send you. Order the cheapest thing.
All right, so let's get into this because As you probably saw on Twitter, we recently had a big 108 meeting, and we were just talking about a lot of different stuff. And I brought up something to the guys that I wanted to do for a while as a segment, and they actually agreed. It was the only thing they agreed with me on the whole night.
That's bullshit.
But
I don't remember.
I've been wanting to do
Treasy browbeats
stupidest shit we've read on the internet this week. And like, this is because we spend a lot of time on the internet. Even for my job, I'm online a lot. And so like, you click through or someone sends you something and you're just like, Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. This is the stupidest ass thing I saw. And I did not sleep through the meeting. I was the one who took the picture of someone sleeping at the meeting. But
I'll be honest with you, I feel blessed, Treasy, that my sock summer did not fall into the backyard fire that we made.
Oh my God!
I took that picture of the fire flame and it was 7 feet high. MSS was bobbing and weaving out there, but he was all good. But he never fell in. I thought he was going to fall in. I was a little nervous about it.
Now, Sal alludes to the point that I was late for that meeting, which I was. I was only about an hour late. But I showed up and like I started talking to you guys, and like immediately I was like, holy shit, my sock summer's fucked up. And like and like he went to the bathroom and I turned to Beef and I was like, he's wasted, right? And you're like, oh my God, yes. And then like and what was crazy, like you were coherently talking about things, but you were like slurring. And I was like, this is I don't usually see this till mid-season, And so
mid-season.
So then I was like, I was saying something and like I was like, I expected my sock summer to respond. Oh, he's asleep.
It's not happening.
All right.
We need to get together at some point and talk about the things that we discussed, because I don't remember it.
Stupidest shit we've read on the internet was one of the things we discussed.
Yes,
and
I got 'em all.
Beef, I will kick it to you first, and you tell me about the stupidest shit that you saw on the internet this week.
Baby, the stupidest thing that I saw on the internet and that I had the pleasure of reading about and hearing people talk about was the Liver King. If you want to put up the images of
Oh my God.
There's the Liver King if you're watching on the YouTube channel. Allegedly, it came out this week. It was a New York Post article. The Liver King, who claimed he lived an all-natural diet and ate all these organ meats, and he has that big liver that he's eating right there, claimed that it was totally natural the way he was getting. He's on 11 grand worth of steroids per month. What a shock. Amazing. It says larger-than-life bodybuilder Brian Johnson, dubbed the Liver King, allegedly has a secret to his impeccable physique: steroids. He claims an ancestral lifestyle. But there was an email that was shared, a series of emails were shared by another YouTuber showing him requesting trying to get all these steroids. Now, it's stupid in my perspective because when you see something like him, it's one of those lies that you know is a lie, but you kind of don't care. Breaking the story is fucking stupid, in my opinion. Like the you know Dan Blazarian, you know that guy Dan Blazarian who claims that he made all of his money playing poker, which everyone knows is fucking bullshit. It's his dad had stolen some money that was laundered and then like passed it around to him when he went to jail. Like, you don't need to bust that story out. We know we know Dolly Parton's tits are fake. Okay, you don't have to make a story about it. Just leave those obviously fake things fake. And let the noobs believe the shit is real. Like, so for this one, I just thought it was stupid because, like, well, no shit. You see that guy, and like, there's a clip of Pardon My Take where they're prodding him about this, about what he's taking. And Big Cat names one of the steroids he's taking because Big Cat claims he's taking that steroid. The guy totally denies it. Of course, it comes out. The guy's on a million fucking things.
Beef. This is the kind of thing that pisses me off because people are spending time trying to bust this guy out, right? Meanwhile, they're letting FTX just do whatever. Like, exactly. No one's going to spend 5 minutes investigating that. Who would read that? Who would read about that? Let's talk about this guy who says he eats liver for every day and might be on steroids. No shit. Who cares?
Exactly right. Why is this a story? I don't care. In fact, if it said something like he has like 1.7 million Instagram followers. I hope he doesn't lose any of them because his ridiculousness is why you're following him on Instagram. Not because you think if you're going to eat liver, you'll look swollen and ripped out like that guy. No one thinks that. No one who does it thinks that's for real.
No one's doing it. Right. He's got 1.7 million followers. 0 of them try and follow his diet. Yeah, 0.
That's right.
They're mostly into taquitos. Hey, Treasy, throw that graphic back up. Now listen, if I was going to meld two people together, This is Dave Portnoy and Dallas Braden. It like mixed into one person. Like,
it does look like a Dallas Braden Photoshop,
right? I mean, every time I look at it, like, because Dave Portnoy, I think he's pretty ripped. Like, gut-wise.
No, this is. You know what this is?
This is insane.
Like 1980s Arnold Schwarzenegger with Dallas Braden's head jammed on top.
It's so crazy.
Well, MSS, I wanted to double check it because I wanted to check the height, and the Liver King is only 5'7". So this does track. Like that is the right height.
Definitely
the correct height if you're going that way.
He's like Tom Cruise size, without all the fucking weird prey to the
5'7", 190 pounds, all natural, just eats organ meats. That's how he gets that way.
Beef. I used to actually work with a guy who was a bodybuilder, right? And he's like, I'm an all natural bodybuilder. I do all natural bodybuilder competitions. And I said, well, what's the difference? And he's like, any bodybuilder that you've ever seen? And I was like, yeah, of course. He's like, they're all on steroids. And he's like, yes. he's like those like super oiled up dudes that have like muscles popping out of their neck and shit. He's like, yeah, they're all on steroids. He's like, the natural competition, he's like, it looks like pretty normal dudes that just are like do a lot of working out.
Mrs. Beef was watching a documentary. I think it was about some female bodybuilder that killed her husband. Have you seen this, MSS? Okay. At one point during it, they talk about that. They're like, yeah, they had tried to push for an all natural, and the competition sucked so bad, no one wanted to go to it. So they're like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. Ride the shit out of these people. So yeah, it makes sense. It's a performance art. Yeah, exactly. Baseball, football, whatever sport you want to say. Soxwood asks, who from the 108 would you like to inject 11,000 worth of steroids into? I mean, who can really do some damage? Like, let's just say the broader 108 group. Anyone who sits in this, no way. Wally Money's way too lazy to work out. No. In our section, you inject Billy Wires or Bill Atwater. Yeah, those are the guys you inject because they could get massive. Yeah,
he's got the frame. Like he could just become like
there's no question
a superhero sized guy. Like
I mean, Bill has never worked out. So if Bill started working,
there it is. There we get him swolled up, man.
Like Bill could rip apart like fucking phone books. Like
a human being, he could rip apart a human being.
If you inject Wally with that stuff, he'll just end up growing bigger tits. But they'll be floppy. Like it's not worth your time.
He'll have the big Quagmire forearms. That's what he'll get. That's
just the one. Just the one. Righty only. Just the righty only.
I'm sure he's out of hand right now.
Lefty.
Beer Garden Jim says 5'7", still taller than Wet Bandit.
Damn.
And Tim Maher says liver futures haven't moved at all. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no one's eating them. That's great.
My sex summer. What's the stupidest shit you saw?
Listen, guys, I'm a little. I must have been drunk when I approved this session or this section, this segment. I
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
third time's a try.
Something with an S.
Like Donald Trump right now.
Yeah,
I think MSS is stroking out.
Maybe potentially. I don't know. I try to do CBD today. This is the segment that's going to get me canceled. If there's any segment in the world that would get me canceled, it's this one, and especially it's going to get canceled, and because the night we premiere it, a one Kanye West in a full face mask is talking about how much he loves Hitler. And
allegedly, because he's in the full face mask. So
there's
like a plausible deniability.
He had a motocross jacket on, so he could be from Kentucky. I don't know, but I was just like watching this, and I googled InfoWars. I was weirded out googling InfoWars Kanye West because I'm like, okay, now my computer's gonna get like taken over by something because it just seems
that's
weird.
Definitely an over a VPN.
Watched a little bit of it, and I was like, just.
He's already subbed to the Alex Jones show, so it didn't matter, Treasy. He got an alert for that. He got an alert for that.
I don't know. So I was watching that, and I'm like, that's crazy. And then last night before I was going to bed, like I noticed that like Casey Anthony has like a documentary where she like is like telling her. Like saying that her father is the one that killed her, kid, but they also paid Casey Anthony to be in this documentary. So I'm like, I don't know. And then I heard this thing like, okay, well she's afraid of crowds, but here she is on the side of who's that heavy metal band? Steel Panther. She's on Steel Panther's side stage, like going nuts. You're just like, what the fuck? And like those are both very crazy stories, and like even thinking about the Kanye West stuff will definitely get me canceled. So it's like the craziest thing though that I've probably seen on the internet. I saw it right before like we started the podcast, and it was a guy parachuting out of the fucking plane. He was totally naked. Not parachute. What is it? What do they call it?
Base jump. He was base jumper, right?
No, it wasn't base jump though.
Okay.
It was base jump. I think you went out of a plane. But skydiving. Skydiving. That's what it is. Totally naked.
Skydiving.
Guy was totally naked. Dick was like going boom, 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 right on his thighs. And I was like, this is insane. And this has to hurt a lot. Like, who thinks that dangerous. I'm going to jump out of a plane without pants?
You got to secure that thing.
And that's okay.
That's real risky.
Now, if you're not like a long fellow, right? Like if you don't have a BWC, right? Like who's gonna sit there and go, I'm gonna try to do this? Like you would know. But if you're a guy with a dick big enough that's gonna hit off right inside your knee,
that's worse, isn't it? Isn't that worse?
Yeah.
And you also know the risks. You know the risk, and you're just like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna go skydive. No one skydives drunk, do they? Do they?
White Sox Al says MSS afraid to Google Infowars, but it's totally okay to have his boutique porn in this browser history. That's absolutely right.
First off, fuck you, Sal. It's craft porn. Okay, it's not boutique porn. Boutique sounds like something ridiculous and totally bougie that I'm not into.
And I'm not reading that, Soxwood, but yes, you are correct. Your comment is accurate. That's right.
So MSS, this guy jumps out of the plane.
He does.
And he's just dangling back and forth, slapping
it's
around.
just yeah.
And we now know what Wally Money would do if he was on steroids.
Oh, no, this guy's way too skinny to be Wally Money. So,
it would turn into a helicopter and save him. He'd live. He would turn over and it would turn into a helicopter and save him. He'd live. Don't worry about it.
I definitely can't see it.
Nah, it's too much glare.
I'm going to tweet it. I'm going to tweet it right now.
Yeah, tweet that out. From your account.
Please. Oh, but everyone drink because MSS is looking at his phone.
That's Treasy, how about you? What's the weirdest shit you heard?
I saw this article, right? In it's from Wisconsin, which is this is not you're not going to be shocked once you hear it. But so it's basically it came up and it was this nurse is got arrested for doing something that she shouldn't in elder care, and I was like, oh, this sounds awful, and it is. Let me just say it's a morbid story, but there's a guy with frostbite on his feet, right? And he comes into it's like an old hospice kind of thing.
Don't like it.
And this nurse decides, I'm gonna amputate this guy's foot.
That a girl.
And so a couple stupid things about this story. One, she goes, I'm going to amputate that guy's foot. Everyone tells her, don't amputate that guy's foot. So she does it. The hospital finds out 2 days later. How the fuck did it take 2 days to notice that one of your patients has one less foot than they came in with?
There's a sheet, man.
White Sox Sal says she took initiative. She did.
And Sal, when they went to her and said, why did you do this? At first, it just sounded like that was true because she tells the cops, look, I was trying to comfort him. He was in pain. I wanted to relieve the pain for him.
Man.
But here's
There's
the
other
stupid
ways to
thing.
cure pain.
Here's the stupid thing. In the interview with the cops, she also referred to his feet as mummy feet.
Hang on. Is that a medical term? I'm not aware
I don't think that's a medical term.
I think it is. I think you're right. I think it is a medical term.
I think so. I'm going to Google
You wouldn't believe this, but the cops didn't only question her. They questioned some of the other people there that were around. And they said after she had amputated the foot, and they put it in a freezer because they're like, oh, we got to put it somewhere. She wanted to take it.
Oh my God!
She wanted to take the foot back to her family's taxidermy.
There we go.
Shop and put it up and say, make sure to wear your boots, kids. That's what you wanted to do it.
Oh, God. Tim Maher says this fucking podcast cannot quit Wisconsin dismemberment. That's correct.
Absolutely not. Next.
That's good. That's good.
Carmen Mike sucks. Was he an author? Was this Kathy Bates?
Tim, if you're a 3X, I got a sweatshirt for you, buddy.
I mean, every part of this thing, like every paragraph, this shit it was Tony Rocky Horror misogyny. Yeah. Every paragraph of this, I was like, this is stupider and stupider as I get through this. I can't believe this shit. It's not mommy feet. It's mummy feet.
Mummy feet. Mummy feet. Yeah. I'm assuming Greg Miller's on an
police
iPhone.
Officers. She's getting arrested. She's pleading her case, and she uses that term. Unfucking real.
Timothy Maher says it's like the end of Shawshank in Morgan Freeman voice. Really, how often do you count a man's feet? Common mistake, Treasy, that they made.
Put it back up because he had the fucking. There you go. The hideous of that foot will haunt my dreams.
Oh man, I like your reading right now. But yeah, I mean, just a wild ass story. And I see shit like this, and I'm like, you know what? We need to talk about this on the podcast. This is important. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for doing this segment with me.
Yeah.
And now it's time to get
it was a great success.
Get to the actual thank yous. Beef, why don't you kick us off with your thank you?
You know
or
what?
GFYs, you never know.
I got a GFY this week, okay? And I tweeted it this morning. GFY to the fucking Kane guy, okay? All the people everywhere is giving blame to everyone they could over the last 6 months. TLR, Han, Jerry, Kenny, underperforming players, training staff, on and on. Yep. This motherfucker took all the glory, Game 3 ALDS, and none of the blame for the bullshit non-Magic 2022 season. Where the fuck was this guy when we needed him, okay? MSS, fuck you and your bobblehead. This dude was nowhere to be found when we really could have used some magic. We could have used a little run, a little bit of health. He could have put the magic cane on Luis Roberts' wrist. He didn't do it, okay? Kane guy, you're dead to me.
So we tweet about that this morning. We talked about that this morning in the chat. And I
would
said,
you cut his foot off though?
Probably not. No.
If I did, I wouldn't put it up for people to tell them to wear their boots. I'm not into that.
But I also biggest Fairweather fan ever. Never saw that guy at the game, before. Didn't see him at the playoff game. I was a little intoxicated, and then never saw him all in 2022. So I don't know, man. I think he's the biggest Fairweather fan we ever had, and they made a bobblehead of him. So that's got to be really good for the 108 that we're going to probably get our bobblehead this year. So it's probably happening.
Treasy, pull that comment back up and read it because I think it's worthwhile.
So it's from Soxwood. He says, will you take requests for this segment in the future? I'm pretty good at finding weird shit on the internet. No. And yes,
I
absolutely.
Will. Yep. You can do it for me.
For those guys.
Yeah, you can send
Soxwood,
it to me.
I will message you the next time we're going to do it. I think it's so we're probably going to be doing this every 4 to 6 weeks. Yep. I'll in January I will message you and we'll get one going.
Yep.
All right, my Sox Summer. Who you thinking?
Oh, hey, big thank you to the Barstool Chicago guys for giving me that beef kit that had us make the beautiful.
That was really good.
Those were delicious.
Beef from the JP Graziano stuff. And guys, it is the easiest thing ever. You just got to boil some beef broth with the Italian spices, dump it over the beef that I bought at Aldi. Really good cuts. And you know it's a good cut when Shane Reardon, who loves meat, and beating his meat and cooking his meat, filleting his meat and panning his meat.
Not a Michelin star chef, though.
Listen, this is a fucking good cut. It's a good cut of meat, and it's at the Aldi's for like $20. So go over to the Aldi's, pick up some of those.
It was perfect for our potluck that we.
You know what?
It was
a nice potluck. Then.
Where is he? You're right.
Crazy says too spicy for me, but she's talking about what Zach's gonna find on the internet.
I don't remember. I don't remember like a lot of things. I do remember having some good spice to it. You maybe don't have to put the entire bottle of Jardinera in there with the oil. That could
the whole bottle in.
You know what? We ate it as leftovers. Then and it was terrific. I mean, I would keep it that spicy. Yeah, I would keep it that spicy for me.
Good. So I missed the leftovers. I thought you guys threw it away. Glad you guys ate them.
No, we killed it. Yeah, that's why I was extra fat this week. That's why I was up 2 pounds. So I blame you partially.
That's my thank you. You know what? I don't want to be negative right now, so I'm not even going to go with fuck you. So I'm just going to go with that. Thank you. Treasy.
I got a GFY. All right, and it's to Marvel Studios. And
Oh.
if you haven't seen Wakanda Forever, this is the last thing that's going to be on the show. So you could I don't want to spoiler alert anything for you. You know, like I won't spoil anything. So just feel free to drop off right now if you don't want to be spoiled for this. But I went to go see Wakanda Forever. Great movie. You know, like a great tribute to Chadwick Boseman. But I got a little problem with this movie. So I don't know. You guys don't watch these movies.
No.
You know, so let me just explain. Wakanda is this country in Africa, and its borders are impenenetrable. You can't.
They have a mineral, right? They have a mineral that's stronger than anything.
Exactly. You got it all down. But they have this basically like force field around their country. You can't get into it. But they need someone to get into it for this movie, right? They need a villain in this movie. So they say, well, maybe they could get in by the water. So who could possibly swim across this border? How could we?
Oh, man.
They got to swim a really long way to get across this border. And you know what they went with, Beef? They said, let's get a Mexican. Yeah. Why not get a Mexican to be? Of course. Who else could do?
I knew it was going there, baby. Give me the wetback. That's what they did to us, right? They did it to us.
Beef, and then they did it even dirtier because they go. Where does this guy's power? How does this guy got these powers? This is amazing powers. And they figure it out. It's the wetness of his back. The wetter his back, the more powerful he becomes. We got to dry this guy out. The goal of the movie is to make this guy ashy. I was hurt. I was hurt deep inside. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe
it.
Terrible.
I can't believe they do us like that. They do us.
They did us like that, man.
Is it Aquaman?
Terrible.
No, so this is Marvel. So they got a different version of him. Okay. His name is usually Namor in the comics, but they called him Namor because they needed to make it
Mexican.
Spanish.
That's what Boney's saying in the comments. Yep. It's just Ramon backwards, so you can remember that MSS. The monster. Okay. Remember the monster, and you're good. You'll remember that.
But yeah, a great movie overall, and I'm obviously joking about that. But I was watching it, and like there was this part of me like, you needed someone to swim across the border, and this is who you chose. I got what you're talking about, Marvel. I see what you. I see what you're doing.
We feel you.
But guys, absolutely great show tonight. But one thing we got to talk about,
shortest 108
before we go,
ever,
is on December 22nd.
Oh yeah,
baby.
Festivus.
Yes. Woo!
Festivus is back 8 p.m. on December 22nd. Don't miss it. We've already lined up a bunch of the guests. And man, it is. You think that beef was spicy? This is going to be spicy.
Very spicy. There's no question.
We got some spicy guests. I'm very excited for it. We haven't got a closer for it yet. We got about 15, 16 people in line that we might get to. But if we get through all them and no one is available, we might have UPS again. We'll see.
Oh, you shouldn't even have said that.
It's possible.
Luckily, nobody watches our podcast, especially not him. So
that's true. Absolutely.
Well, all right. That's it.